How to raise your photography prices the right way. And yes, there is a right way and a wrong way. I have seen this done really well and I've seen it done really poorly. And I want to save you guys the trouble of doing it the wrong way and just seeing a lot of things go wrong in your business because of it. I want you to do it the right way. And trust me, you guys, I want you to raise your price. I want you to make more money, but let's make sure we're doing it the right way. Okay, mistake number one that I see people make is basically they will take the advice of a lot of photographers out there. They'll run their cost of doing business. They'll see that it's a lot more than what they're currently charging. And they see photographers saying like, oh, I'm making this much money, you can do it too. And so they don't change anything in their business. They just quadruple their prices overnight, and they're very upset that nobody books and they think that it was the prices that were the problem. They just go back to the prices that they were originally, and it kind of like throws people off because they're like, why were your prices so high and now they're not anymore? It's really confusing for clients, and I don't see that there's ever a need to just like directly triple your prices, quadruple your prices, unless you're charging like $50. I don't think there's that big of a difference between $50 and $150. But you can't go from like $400 to $1,600 overnight. There's definitely, and I definitely think you can do it like relatively quickly, but you can't just go straight from one to the other without changing anything in your business and see success. That's my personal opinion. I have always raised prices somewhat slowly, and I say somewhat because if you look at it like maybe even like from one year to the next year, my prices may have tripled, but I kind of did it slowly over time. Like maybe my spring mini sessions, actually, let me think back about my prices last year, because I do think I raised them quite a bit over the year, but it was also somewhat gradual. So it was like my spring mini sessions, I think, were maybe $225. That includes 5 photos, just so you know. That doesn't include the full gallery. And then I think my summer mini sessions, maybe I increased to $275. And then for fall, I knew there was going to be a way higher demand, so I just went ahead and increased to $350. And I'm not planning on lowering those. I'm going to keep it at $350, and maybe even I think I'll keep that for $350 for the first half of the year, and then for fall I'll increase it even more, maybe even up to $450. So from the spring until now, I guess that's over $100 increase. Just these are, and again, these are just mini session prices. These aren't full session prices. So keep that in mind. This is not a good full session price, but just for mini session prices, that's a pretty big increase in a year, but it felt kind of slow because I gradually increased instead of jumping really big all at once. And again, there was a reason for that increase because of the increase in demand. But I've also raised my full session prices kind of slowly as well. I believe I started out last year for full sessions at $600, maybe somewhere around there, and then slowly would increase those like every few bookings by $50. So I would increase to $650, and then to $700, and then to $750. And right now I'm at $850 for full sessions. And what I also did is I added a higher level package on top of that. And so now I have another session, my photo and video sessions, which are $1,200. So my top package, I guess, went from $600 to $1,200 because I added that new top package. So that could look like a big jump, but I did increase those full session prices very slowly. And then for that top package, I added a lot to it to make it worth that higher price. And so I've always been a big fan of raising slowly. And by slowly, that could mean you increase $50 every 3 clients, which is a lot faster than it might seem, but just to do that big jump all at once, I've never seen that work out well for someone. I think like a $50 increase every few clients is a really good way to go. Okay, other mistakes that photographers make is basically just like coming up with a random number and they have no idea why they're charging it. I think it's so important to actually run your numbers and figure out why you're charging what you're charging. And so I know a lot of photographers will say run your cost of doing business, but I think if you kind of have no idea what you're doing and you try to do that, you still are a little bit confused about why. And so if you're someone who needs like really specific help with this, and even help with running your cost of doing business, because that in itself can be kind of confusing to even know the numbers to put into it. I think that you are really gonna love my AI bot that specifically helps with pricing, and it is so affordable. And I think it's going to be so helpful for you. And so it helps you run your cost of doing business, helps you figure out exactly what you need to charge and why you need to charge, helps you figure out exactly how to raise your prices if you need to, and how to market, how to explain your prices to clients, how to deal with pricing objections. I think it's going to be so helpful for you. So if you have no idea what to charge or why, I would go ahead and check that out at the link below. And it is so affordable. I think you're going to love it. Okay. So let's talk a little bit though about how you're coming up with that number. So I know a lot of photographers say to run your cost of doing business, but I think this in itself can be, again, confusing because some of those numbers that you're putting in there are things you want. So some of them are things like, okay, this is how much money I want to make per year. This is how many sessions I want to do per week. Things like that. And so when it gives you a number that seems unattainable, like maybe it tells you need to charge like $2,500 per session, I think what you can do, obviously, like some of your costs are fixed. You can also go in there and look at some of your costs and say like, okay, how can I lower my costs of running my business? Maybe I don't need 4 cameras, I only need 2. Or, you can look at some of those costs. Maybe it doesn't make sense for me to have a client closet. I personally have a client closet, but like that can definitely cause your costs to go up. Maybe you don't feel like you can charge as high as you would need to for your higher costs. So looking at those costs, or maybe you're someone who owns a studio and that's not a cost that makes sense because of how high your studio costs are. So looking at some of those costs can be helpful in figuring out how can you lower your cost of doing business. But you can also look at things like, okay, I have been doing photography for a year. Maybe it doesn't make sense for me to make $200,000 a year yet. Maybe I can lower that price that I need for my own salary. Or you can look at things like, okay, are there ways that I can shoot more sessions per week so that I can charge less per client? So maybe you think you can only shoot 1 session a week, but you can really shoot 2. And there's ways that you can make sure that you are, even if you're shooting more sessions per week, you're not actually adding more time spent working per week. So one of the ways I do this is and the way that I was able to take on more sessions per week is by automating as many things as possible. So for example, I automate my booking. So people don't inquire with me. I send them prices and then they say they want to book and then I send them a contract and invoice and maybe I have to follow up with them. That just was so time consuming. I don't have time for that. And so I automated that entire process. I even automated all my follow-up, all my emails. I've got funnels running for email marketing. So I just automated as many things as I possibly could. And that freed up so much time in my schedule for actually shooting and editing. Or maybe you could look at something, I don't do this, but maybe you could look at something like AI editing programs like Imagine AI, I think is one of them. I don't know a lot about this because I don't use it, but there are ways where you can free up time in your schedule so that you can shoot more sessions per week without adding actually more work hours to your week, if that makes sense. So these are all things that you, like when you run your cost of doing business, it's not a number that's set in stone because you can go in and see like, how can I tweak some of these numbers that I put in there to lower my costs so that I can charge less if I came out with a number that doesn't make sense. Okay, I know that was a lot, and some of that kind of like you need individual feedback on your individual business. So I think that pricing AI bot that I have will be really helpful for you. Or if you really need to talk to someone in person and help you figure all this out, I also offer one-on-one mentoring, and I would love to help you like individually in your business figure that out. But if you're looking for a more affordable option, that AI bot is going to be for you. Okay, the next way that you can raise your prices the right way is by adding to your client experience. So if you are someone who you're very new in business, you are just less experienced when it comes to like editing and shooting and all of that, and you just like dramatically increase your prices, you're not going to see an increase in bookings. You need to increase what you're giving to your clients, and there's so many ways to do that. So maybe you're increasing your actual skills and you're giving your clients better photos. That's definitely a way to increase your client experience, but there's other ways to do this as well. Like, I don't want you to, I mean, that is definitely the case for some people depending on your skill level, but I also don't want you to get stuck in this mindset of, well, my work isn't as good as this person, and so I can't charge as much as them. Like, you definitely don't want to base your prices on what other people are charging or what you think the quality of your work is, or what other people think the quality of your work is, like other photographers, because that's not the only thing that you want to take into consideration when it comes to pricing. But at the same time, I also think like when you improve your skills, that makes sense to increase your pricing. So I would definitely look into like investing in education, investing in better gear if you need to. But I think education and like workshops, one-on-one mentoring, courses, things like that, that are going to help you improve your skills, will definitely cause you to need to increase your prices as well. And then other ways to increase your client experience are, like, for me, I have my client closet. So that is something that is valuing my photography higher. And then I talked about my different pricing packages. So when I added video on to my offerings, that was something that definitely made my sessions worth more. And then, like, I know some people add hair and makeup on to their services. So there's a lot of different ways that you can increase your client experience in a way that makes sense for you to charge more. The next thing I want to talk about is you cannot base your pricing on feelings. I see this way too often. And usually this is people who don't want to increase their prices because they say like, well, everybody should be able to afford photography and blah, 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 blah. But they are not realizing that like by charging this tiny amount, they are not serving themselves and their own families. They're barely making anything. And so it's so important to never base your pricing on feelings, but to base it on like actual reasons with numbers backing up why you're charging what you're charging. So, because this is not like, if you want to do this as like a volunteer thing, that's totally fine, but it doesn't make sense to run a business that way. Like if you're just volunteering, again, totally fine. If you want to run this as like a nonprofit, that is one thing. But if you're trying to run a business, you cannot run it that way. You've got to make sure that you're meeting your minimum requirements. And then the next thing you want to do is make sure you know your ideal client inside and out. I've talked about this so much in other videos, but if you've not downloaded my ideal client pricing guide yet, you'll definitely want to do that. That is going to help with so many things when it comes to marketing and also pricing. And then the last thing I want to make sure I mention is just don't assume that just because your bookings are low, it's because of pricing. So your prices may be exactly what they need to be, but maybe your bookings are low and it could just be a marketing problem. It's usually just a marketing problem. It's almost never a pricing problem, but people almost always think if I'm not getting booked, I need to lower my prices and then I'll get booked. And that's just not the case at all. What you need to do is make sure you're improving your marketing when you increase your prices. And you may need to make sure, again, going back to that ideal client pricing guide, you may need to change who your ideal client is. So maybe you increase your prices and now you're really going to have to start marketing to someone who makes a higher level income than your previous ideal client, and the way that you market to them might be different. They might use different words when they're searching things on Google, or they might go to a different place for when they're looking for a photographer. So like something I've noticed is if you are just advertising on Facebook, that is where the people who are willing to spend the least amount of money go to look for a photographer. People who are willing to spend a little bit more money might go to Instagram or other places, but the people who are willing to spend the most money go to Google. I don't make the rules. This is just like trends that I've noticed as well as trends that other photographers have noticed. And so that's not to say that I never get high paying clients from Facebook. I got someone who booked my top package, so $1,200 twice within just a few months. They booked me twice for that top package within just a few months, and they found me on Facebook. So there's definitely exceptions to the rule, but rules are rules for a reason. And so when you increase your pricing, you might want to increase, or you might want to change the words you're using when you're marketing and where you're going to market your business. So I just want you to remember, if you're not getting bookings, it's almost never a pricing problem. It's almost always a marketing problem. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope that you guys raise your prices and meet all your goals for the new year. And I just can't wait to see your businesses grow and improve, and for you to create the life that you're dreaming of with your business for this year. Now, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, I love talking pricing, so feel free to leave me any questions in the comment section below, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.